Welcome back for the most recent insights on the Lakers, where today's discussion is stirring up deep emotions among supporters, blending disappointment with a hint of hope. Imagine if I suggested that, despite the discouraging outcome of this initial game, characterized by uneven energy levels, defensive lapses, and shocking statistics, it might not signify the end of the road. In fact, could it be that the opening match served as the crucial wake-up call the Lakers required? Let's dive into this perspective. Clearly, the Lakers faced a defeat in their first encounter against the Timberwolves. And it wasn't just a simple loss. They were surpassed in nearly every aspect. Outworked, outscored, and outmanaged. Reactions on social media echoed the typical sentiments of despair, with numerous individuals declaring the series finished and advocating for drastic changes. It might be easy to accept this storyline if you only skimmed through the box score or observed that tough second quarter, but is that really the complete picture? Or is there a chance that what unfolded was simply an anomaly? A wake-up call that could be the precursor to an awe-inspiring turnaround spearheaded by a key player? Let's take a moment to reflect. The game commenced with the Timberwolves playing, as though their survival hinged on it, and perhaps it did, eager to validate their season, guided by a standout performer. Minnesota surged ahead with assertive fast break points, offensive rebounds, and second-chance scoring. They executed it. All. The Lakers appeared as if they were still warming up. The pace was intense, rapid, and chaotic. The Timberwolves amassed 28 fast break points, which is remarkable, particularly since they ranked low in that statistic during the regular season. Furthermore, they secured 23 points from second chances, a perilous situation. During the playoffs, winning in such a manner is not sustainable, especially in the postseason, and particularly not while playing away. This is where it becomes especially intriguing, as we have seen this before. No exaggeration, we truly have. The Lakers, led by a certain superstar, have a history of losing opening games. Remember the year 2020 when they dropped the first game in a playoff bubble, igniting doubts about their prospects. We all know how that story ended. They subsequently fell in game one against another rival, and the same narrative repeated itself. And what can be said about another prominent player? That individual has recorded 2 wins and 7 losses in opening games and still managed to win more than half of those series. So what does this imply? It suggests that the initial game is not the doom that numerous online commentators would like to believe. It illustrates that experience is crucial, that adjustments will be made, and most significantly, that this series is far from concluded. Now, let's analyze what precisely went wrong and what changes are essential for the Lakers to bounce back. First, we need to tackle the defense, which revealed obvious shortcomings, excessive help defense. The Lakers have struggled with this issue all season, and while their help defense is typically calculated and effective, it was a disaster in that first game. Players rushed to close off gaps that didn't need attention, resulting in uncontested 3-point shots. According to a credible source, the Timberwolves made 21 3-point shots, with 27 being entirely open and 15 others were just open. This equates to 42 opportunities with nearly no defensive pressure. And can you guess how many 3-point attempts the Lakers forced with tight coverage? 0, not a single one. This signifies a systemic breakdown and is something the coaching staff must address before the next game. Excessive help cannot define their identity, especially against a team that excels at perimeter shooting when they find their rhythm. So, what's the solution? It starts with discipline. Trust the man-to-man defense and recognize who to assist. Don't leave shooters unattended. Those players are not mere supporting figures. They are skilled professionals who can take advantage of being overlooked, which indeed occurred. Now, let's turn our attention to the offensive end because, surprisingly, the Lakers had some bright moments. One standout performer excelled significantly in the early phases, particularly by capitalizing on mismatches in certain situations. In fact, this seemed to be the only offensive tactic that was successful. Now, let's refocus on the offensive aspect, because believe it or not, the Lakers had some flashes of quality. Luka Doncic stood out early, especially by exploiting Rudy Gobert during pick and rolls. In fact, this seemed to be the only offensive tactic that worked consistently. Luka scored 16 points in the first quarter, promoting switches, isolating Gobert, and taking advantage of those opportunities. Gobert was so ineffective in that period that he accumulated 3 fouls before halftime and had a neutral plus-minus, even with the Timberwolves coming out victorious in that segment. So why didn't the Lakers continue to explore this? Why? Didn't they insist on what was working? More importantly, why did the rest of the offensive strategy seem so incomplete? Austin Reaves, for example, was almost invisible, attempting only 6 shots in the first half and converting just 1. LeBron appeared predominantly passive, especially in the first half, where he barely had possession of the ball in key moments, and Jackson Hayes, who could help with rebounding and rim protection, played only 6 minutes. Did the Lakers complicate things by overthinking their game plan rather than sticking to what had been effective throughout the season? Fans began to question where the dynamic 3-player combination of Luka, LeBron, and Reaves was, the combination that had created so many problems for defenses at the end of the regular season. Where were the horn sets, the triangle influence, the creative approaches that made them so unpredictable? Could the second game be the moment when all of this returns? Some analysts believe adjustments are already underway, with plans to isolate Luka without relying on a switch with Gobert, ways to get Reaves moving without the ball, and tactics to encourage LeBron to attack the basket more regularly. If they can implement even part of these changes, the second game could present a very different scenario. Moreover, there is the intangible aspect: energy, intensity, determination. It wasn't just a failure in strategy, it was a failure in effort, which is much harder to accept. If there's anything that can derail momentum in the playoffs, it's complacency. The Lakers seemed tired and disconnected, almost as if they expected an easy win, while the Timberwolves were ready for the fight. Maybe this is exactly what the Lakers needed. Maybe this defeat will bring them back to reality. Maybe the film session was tough. Maybe the locker room got heated. Sometimes a heavy loss serves as the best motivator. So now the question arises: is this the start of another classic LeBron recovery? Is Luka Doncic about to show why he was brought in to be clutch in critical moments? Will Austin Reaves bounce back? Will the coach make the necessary changes? Will the Lakers show that they still believe? The key point is that this is no longer just about the first game. It's about how they respond to that first game. Everyone will be watching on Tuesday to see if this team maintains that fighting spirit. But what are your thoughts on this situation? Was the first game just a small setback or a warning sign of what's to come? Do you believe this team has the potential for a deep playoff run? And what changes do you think are crucial for game 2? I look forward to your reflections in the comments. The Lakers, as a whole, carry a strong sense of pride. They are not an inexperienced group simply happy to be in the playoffs. They are experienced veterans, champions, who have faced adversity before. There is an awareness that the level of play must be raised, and everyone understands that they need to be more assertive. Even players who had minimal minutes can be called upon to turn the tide in Game 2. It is also important to comment on the performance of a key player, who at best was moderate in the first game, considering he is expected to be a pivotal piece on both ends. His impact didn't match the importance of the moment. However, there's an optimistic point. He tends to respond to criticism. He knows he's under the spotlight, and historically, when the pressure rises, he elevates his performance. If there's ever a moment to dominate the paint, it's now, because that's where the true battle lies in this matchup. The opposing team has been strong in the paint, not only with Rudy Gobert, but also with players who have dominated the boards. The Lakers need to change that dynamic. They must take control of the rebounds, dominate the paint, and set the tone of the game. Preventing a key player from playing his game is another important priority because he looks nearly unbeatable. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. In a surprising turn of events, Austin Reaves has made it clear that he no longer accepts playing alongside Traore. This bold statement from the Los Angeles Lakers guard has sent shockwaves throughout the NBA community, sparking speculation and debate about the relationship between the two players and their future on the team. Reaves, known for his quiet yet powerful performances on the court, has always been a fan favorite for his hustle, versatility, and calm demeanor. However, in an unexpected interview, he voiced his dissatisfaction with the current roster dynamic, particularly his chemistry with Traore. The decision to make such a public declaration has left many wondering about the reasons behind his discomfort. Traore, a rising star with great potential, has been a subject of intrigue since joining the Lakers. His physicality and impressive skills have earned him attention, but it's clear that something about his playing style doesn't sit well with Reaves. While both players have shown flashes of brilliance on the court, the apparent lack of synergy has been an issue for Reaves, who has been open about his desire for a more cohesive and harmonious team environment. The timing of this revelation is particularly noteworthy. With the Lakers looking to make a deep playoff run, team chemistry is crucial, and any internal tension could derail their momentum. The front office may now find themselves in a delicate situation, balancing the needs of their star players and managing the potential fallout from Reaves' remarks. It's important to consider that Reaves has been a valuable asset for the Lakers, contributing both offensively and defensively. His shooting accuracy and basketball IQ have been pivotal in many of the team's wins. However, if Reaves' discomfort with playing alongside Traore is genuine, it could influence his role moving forward, especially as the Lakers prepare for the postseason. The relationship between teammates can often make or break a season, and his public disagreement raises questions about the Lakers' locker room dynamics. While Reaves has not gone into specific details regarding his issues with Traore, the public nature of his statement hints at underlying frustrations. Whether this is a one-off comment or a sign of deeper issues within the team remains to be seen, but it has undoubtedly added an extra layer of drama to the Lakers' already tumultuous season. In the coming weeks, all eyes will be on how the Lakers address this situation. Will they make changes to their lineup? Will there be a conversation between Reaves and Traore to clear the air? Or will this rift continue to simmer as the team fights for playoff positioning? Regardless of the outcome, Reaves' comments have added a new level of intrigue to the Lakers season, and the NBA community is eager to see how it all unfolds. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.